Ready, face? Ready, step?
President Trump, your message to the people of Ukraine and world leaders gathered here today.
We love them. We love them.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky got off the plane in Washington, D.C. to visit with President Trump today. Let's get into it. All right, so today, folks, the world got treated to a little performance in the Oval Office. Volodymyr Zelensky, yes, the man who somehow manages to look like both a war hero and a children's choir director at the same time. He showed up in Washington. And, well, let's just look at the change of demeanor. Here he is getting out of the car to visit with President Trump. He's got a suit on. And Trump greets him.
Ready, face? Ready, step?
President Trump, your message to the people of Ukraine and world leaders gathered here today.
We love them. We love them.
Russia continues.
Definitely a different demeanor than the way he was 6 months ago when they basically booted him out before the buffet there in the Oval Office. I love this. My good friend Brian Glenn, who brought up the suit issue. Last time he was in the Oval Office, he said, "You look fabulous in that suit." And Trump said, "I said the same thing." Play the clip. Watch the
President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good.
I said to the one that attacked you last time. See, now I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit. You see, I changed, you are not.
Maybe yours is much better.
Zelensky popping off with a little hot take right there. Trump got a kick out of that one. Zelensky said, "You're wearing the same suit. At least I changed." So, go ahead and get savage with it. Let's look at another clip here because the reporter asked, what guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? This is an interesting response. I want to talk about this a little bit. Play this clip.
From President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything. And really, it includes two parts. First, strong Ukrainian army. That's what I began to discuss with your colleagues. And it's a lot about weapon and then people and training missions and intelligence. And second, we will discuss with our partners. It depends on the big countries, on the United States, on a lot of our friends.
All right, so he says everything. And I want to remind you that one of her parts of her question was, do you need American boots on the ground? Of course, he responds. He says, we need everything. Gonna go ahead and say no to that. When you get into this level of diplomacy and political theater, which is exactly what that was. I mean, you kind of have Zelensky coming in just kneeling at the altar, hat in hand, groveling, right? That's what's happening. He's sitting there with Donald Trump, the man who negotiates like a dadgum sledgehammer wrapped in gold leaf. And Zelensky's going to smile and nod. He's thanking him over and over again. I mean, he looks like a kid who sort of just got called into the principal's office and decided the best strategy was going to be a yes, sir, thank you, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Gone was the tough-talking wartime president that you've seen in the battlefield, green screens and the cover of Vogue magazine after the photo shoots and walking around in his, camo. And today he kind of looks like a guy who just remembered who actually writes the checks. And when he says everything, I don't want you to miss this, because when you're asked what kind of guarantee he wants, and he doesn't say specific weapons or clear commitments or even just a little respect. He says he wanted everything. You ever go to a job interview and when they ask you what's your salary expectation, you say all of it? That's sort of what this was. And that's not strength. To me, that's showing some desperation. It's sort of groveling, right? I want to know if you guys think the same thing, because, Trump's sitting there with that look that he's got, the look. Like he's already 5 steps ahead in the negotiation, like he's in control. He's mentally calculating how much grovel he can squeeze out before tossing Zelensky a bone. And he promises, quote, a lot of help, very good protection, which I think being translated means I might help you, I might not. Keep begging. And Zelensky, he's going to eat that up, nodding like he just got handed the winning lottery ticket, except it's not cash, it's a coupon that says maybe. And the optics of this, he shows up with his EU babysitters. You've got the other European Union leaders that are there. They line up for a photo op. And I think maybe the optics on this is pull that up when he's got them all lined up there. Trump's in the middle. Play this clip real quick. He points to the picture of July 13th when he was shot, and he says that's not a good day. He's got a big, giant poster of himself up there with his fist in the air saying, fight, fight, fight. There's the all the European usual suspects that are there. I think what this is I think this is a group put together in this way. Zelensky's hoping that this crowd's going to make him look a little stronger with solidarity in Europe, and it looks like he's the lead singer of a boy band auditioning in front of Simon Cowell, but Trump's going to again point back to himself, say, that wasn't a good day. In other words, I've been shot. I've been through some things. You guys aren't going to intimidate me. See, Trump in this situation, to me, I think he's the judge. Zelensky's crooning, please, sir, let me go to the next round. And so I don't look at this as statesmanship. This is more like American Idol begging edition. I mean, Trump reminds him, he's like, you might be in the middle of war, but I got shot. So, if your ally needs help and they send their leader to say, please protect us, is it groveling or courage? I'd love for you to make a comment and let me know. But clearly Zelensky's posture today felt different. And there's no shame in asking for help when your future's under fire. But in this theater of global politics, appearances do matter. Standing in the Oval Office, sitting there repeatedly expressing thanks while offering little in return without clear binding commitments can feel like more than just tactfulness. It can look like submission. Now, here is Trump coaching him on the redrawing of the Ukrainian map. Some of the proposals that are there of how much land are they going to give Russia. I've said it on the Chad Prather show. One thing America could do is just back out. And then Zelensky's left alone. It's him and the EU against Vladimir Putin. They don't want that. But see, this isn't the Zelensky. I think it makes me a little bit hopeful in this. This isn't the Zelensky that we know from the past broadcast. The quote soldier president, the actor president, who's going to look like he is coming out of the rubble, the one that everybody has celebrated and put their Ukrainian flags in their profile pictures. But see, in Washington, diplomacy often asks you to lower your sword. The question is going to remain, will that lower stance preserve your sovereignty or cost you more than you gain out of this? And it really means, now, like, his country's in a war. He's desperate. But here's the thing. When you carry yourself like a beggar in the Oval Office, when your entire pitch is, please, sir, more porridge, I think you're losing the dignity card because you're losing the war. So the strong Zelensky brand that he tried to put out there, the fighter, the stand tall symbol of Ukraine, right? He's only 4 foot tall. And the pious, pompous arrogance that we saw in the Oval Office 6 months ago when J.D. Vance read him the Riot Act, he's now melted into that polite house guest thanking the host for the plastic cup of water. So here's the replay. Trump walks away looking like the kingmaker. He's the shot caller. He's the man in control. Zelensky's going to walk away from this looking like he just auditioned for the role of America's favorite charity case, which we already know he is. Now, history might call it diplomacy, but today what we saw in the Oval Office wasn't a lion of Europe. It was a man groveling at the White House, on the White House carpet, praying Trump doesn't pull the rug out from under him. And of course, Trump's got to clown the left. So this is what you're going to hear constantly. As you know, Zelensky canceled his elections. Listen to what Trump says to him.
Legal elections.
So you say
we're ready.
during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
No, this is
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane.
Now, of course, everybody's going to say Trump's saying he's going to. Now, here we go. Of course, Brian Krasenstein's got to say something about it. Trump implies that he can cancel U.S. elections if the U.S. is at war in 2028. These guys. He does this on the world stage as we try. It's called humor, Brian. It's called humor. He's pointing out, as Zelensky got the point, he's pointing out the ridiculousness of just canceling your elections because you're claiming that you're in a war. And I will remind you, the one president in United States history who did get a third term was a Democrat. Now, we're going to see a bunch of pinheads that are going to come out of this, forget the idea of getting somewhere with diplomacy. And he did get somewhere with diplomacy today. Go back and rewatch the tape, and I want you to count all the thank yous that Zelensky was giving out. Because the grovel, as I said, speaks way louder than the guns. We'll see how this thing turns out. For the Chad Prather Show, Monday through Thursday, 2-1 Central. Click subscribe on Rumble or YouTube. Go to our podcaster offers. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review. We like to keep you up to date on all the good stuff and have a little fun doing it. So make sure that you hit like and share this sucker everywhere. Join us tomorrow on the Chad Prather Show. We'll see you there. Love you. God bless you. Bye.